You're listening to Stories Behind the Songs with Chris Blair. For more information, you can find us on Instagram and TikTok at SBT Songs, or check us out at chrisblair.com. This week, I've got Robyn Ottolini on the podcast. Gosh, this episode was so fun. We're going to talk about her breakthrough song that you've probably heard. It went crazy viral on socials, F-150. We're going to dive into the story behind that song. You're also going to get a sneak peek of Airplane Bottle and the whole story behind that song that is coming out on May 30th. We're going to talk about just some fun advice that she gives, her unique style that she has. It was just a great episode, and I loved it. So let's get to it. Here is the hilarious and the awesome Robyn Ottolini. All right, thanks for tuning in. Here we are back in Nashville. Robyn Ottolini in the house. How are you?
I am splendid. How are you?
I'm doing so good. I'm so glad that you came in. There's just so much I cannot wait to dive into and get to know a little bit more of your story. So
I love yapping. So
let's go.
Ask me anything.
All right. Well, take us back to, I want to talk about the journey of how you got into music. You're from Ontario.
Yeah.
What got you started in music, and then bring me to Nashville?
I was raised on country radio. My dad would always have it in the car, or he had cassette tapes. And he told me one time that I wore out a cassette tape to Meet in the Middle by Diamond Rio because I played it so many times on the way to daycare. So I just loved country music growing up because my dad, but nobody in my family was very musical. So it was very my own little journey that I went on, but I just loved to sing. And Hannah Montana was huge, and it all came together like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When did you first start writing?
I started writing when I was like 13.
Okay.
12 or 13. I think I have big feelings, but I hate talking about them. And we didn't talk about our feelings too much as a family. We were a close family, but yeah, no deep combos. And I think I just had a lot of thoughts to get out. So I wrote songs.
Yeah.
Didn't know where that came from. I was just like, today I'm going to write a song, Mom. And she's like, go off, Queen.
So did it start like more poems, or were you playing an instrument?
It was definitely like melodies and lyrics.
Yeah.
For sure. Not too much poems. All melodies and lyrics. I tried picking up a guitar when I was 13, and I begged my parents for guitar lessons, but I had piano lessons when I was 8 years old. So I just played around on the piano, and I was like, me, myself, and I, and it was really inspiring.
Yeah. I love it. So, and then you came to Nashville when?
I came to Nashville, I think when I was 24, 25.
Okay.
I got a visa in 21, like the year 21.
Yeah.
So, but the first time I ever came to Nashville actually was with my mother, Lorraine, and I was 21 years old. She said, do you want to go to Nashville with me? And I was like, yeah. So we stayed in a hostel just right off Broadway on First Street.
I know exactly where that is. Yes.
Do you?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Me and my mother
I used to have some guys that
there.
worked for me that would stay in that hostel.
It was a great hostel.
Yeah.
10 out of 10. So we were right on Broadway, and I was freshly 21. 19 you can drink in Canada, but 21 in the States. So we would go to Broadway, and I'd sing karaoke, and I sung karaoke on Broadway, and somebody tipped me $1 back when I was 21 years old. And I was like, what is going on? I just got paid. So that was my first adventure in Nashville, was as a tourist with my mom, and it was a lot of fun.
I love it.
Yeah.
And was that just a trip to check it out, or were you okay, I'm moving there?
Oh no, it was just for funsies.
Okay.
Oh yeah. I didn't even I didn't know how borders worked or visas worked, and I was like, I don't know how to move here. And my mom liked me kind of close to the house, and so yeah, I never thought about moving there, but I was like, I'd like to come back here one day. And then I came back with my friend Leah to help her out when she was down here recording, and then I was like, maybe I will come back one day, and all the puzzle pieces fit.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's funny how the universe slowly trickles.
Yes.
Wherever you're going into your plan.
Yeah. So talk about what was it like when you first moved here and was like, okay, I'm going to dive in. What were some of the challenges that you first faced?
Well, 2020 is when I got signed. I got signed over Zoom to Warner Music Nashville. And so when I came to Nashville as like a professional, it was like pedal to the metal, meetings all the time, radio tour I went on, and I was still trying to like get everything over to America. So like my phone, I didn't have an American plan, so I had 500 gigabytes of data a day on radio tour. So needless to say, I couldn't use the internet. I was just in the back of a car, driving around the country all the time. And it was a lot. It was pedal to the metal, no sleep, lots of work. But I don't regret it for one bit. It was an adventure. Yeah.
What was that like? I mean, starting out, you're independent and then you get a major label deal.
Yeah.
And then back to independent. So what do you think you learned through that?
I definitely learned to trust my inner voice, for sure.
Love that.
Get the right people around you, and keep believing yourself. I think it's really easy to get to a town like Nashville and go, oh, they're way better than me, or they deserve it more than me. And I really suffered with imposter syndrome, especially because I was like, why me? Out of all the people in this world, why do I get the major label deal? So now going into the future, I'm like, you know what? Because you're a little different, and that's good, Robyn. And you write songs that maybe nobody else is going to write, and I just have to trust myself and not like shame myself for succeeding. I don't know if that's a thing, but I'm definitely going into it a lot more grateful, I think.
Yeah.
This like new season of my music. I'm like, whatever happens. I'm happy to be here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's dive into some songs.
Let's dive.
Let's start with F-150. That was a big song for you.
That was the reason I got to come to Nashville.
Yeah, went viral. Take me into like, how did that song come about? Yeah,
that song. There's a guy in my hometown. Obviously, we dated on and off for 3 years. It was a toxic relationship on both parts. I'm taking ownership at this point in my life. I was not perfect, prior to popular belief. And, he broke my heart, and he drove an F-150. He bought it when we were together. Had a lot of adventures in that car, and being from a small town, the likelihood of it being his truck was pretty high. So anytime I would see the lights of an F-150 coming down the road, my stomach would drop. I would freak out. One time I ran into him at the liquor store, the LCBO, we call them in Ontario. And I was like shaking when I saw him. So I just like that feeling. And then I was driving home and I was like, and I see an F-150. Because the only way I can process what I'm going through is with a melody. And, I started writing it, went to my childhood bathroom, sat on the side of the tub, stared myself in the mirror, and I wrote the song.
By yourself?
I wrote it by myself, and then we tweaked the last chorus to have like a bit more hope. So my old producers have writing credits on it, but originally I wrote it by myself. Yeah,
that's amazing, and it's now platinum certified.
Yeah, isn't that silly?
So crazy.
That's
I love
so
it.
Funny.
Yeah,
Again, so grateful. It blows my mind that so many people listen to that song. And I'm just very grateful for the life it took. I played it at the CCMAs when I won Rising Star. Played it all over Canada, the UK, America, and people know it. Yeah. And I'm like, who hurt you? You guys okay out there? Great song.
And again, that song went viral. So what was that like when you were just watching it explode online?
Well, it didn't feel real because it was like viral and lots of streams every day. So many people DMing me and commenting. But at the end of the day, I was still in my boyfriend at the time's basement apartment, up in Canada in the winter. My life changed 0% kind of, other than a lot more Zoom meetings. So it was really easy to just stay in my same mindset, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Nothing crazy changed until 2021. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just a lot more Zoom calls, which I loved. Put me in front of a camera. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's also crazy timing with, the world shutting down as the song's going like just awesomely well.
Yeah. It was crazy.
But it got you here.
But it got me here.
We got you to town.
It was the best.
Yeah.
I was able to get a visa through Warner Music Nashville. Came down, stayed in hotels and Airbnbs for a while. Then I got a house, which is very nice. It got me a dog. So yeah, it's wild.
There's success when you get a dog. It's just
I wanted a dog so bad too. And it was like mid, radio tour, and I had gone into therapy because a lot was changing, and I was like, let's do this right mentally. So I went into therapy, and I'd been asking her, I was like, can I please get a dog? And I listened to my therapist, and she was like, no, you can't get a dog, you're too busy. No, you can't get a dog, you're too busy. And then 6 months later, I kept it up, and I don't keep many things up. I have a squirrel mind, but I really wanted a dog. And she said, okay, go get a dog. And then like 3 or 4 days later, Alu was my child. I birthed her. I'm just so grateful for her.
I love it.
I've written a song about my dog, actually. So I love her.
That's amazing.
I don't know what else to say. She's my best friend.
Let's hear a little bit about F-150 before we move on.
Sure.
It's just one of those career starting songs.
It's career starting. We filmed a video for it in my then manager's backyard. And we blew up an F-150. We had pyro, which was very exciting. And we had 2 takes to take the shot, and it was a big boom, and I had to not react. And it was a lot of fun because I love fire. More about the song, though. Why am I going off about a video?
I'm still caught up on most of this stuff is editing, and you don't actually blow stuff up.
Oh, we blew it up.
You actually blew it up.
Yeah, James Sled, he does pyro for a living. He works with Marvel and all the big movies, and he liked my music and he helped us out. And
that's amazing.
Yeah. And then when we did the acoustic version, we still had the truck body. So we got him to come back, and he set some of the truck on fire, and I did a 1-take shot of the acoustic version around this burning F-150. So not big explosive, but calm or burn. And it was really cool. I picked up the burning mirror and sung into it. And I think it was really epic. But yeah. And I loved, the thing that also kind of made the song go viral is it wasn't just about an F-150. I think it was more about your ex's vehicle. So the trend on TikTok was, it would be I'm growing up, moving on, getting strong, but then I see it, and then people would put their ex's vehicle, a Dodge Ram, Honda Civic. So then I started making little remixes for TikTok, and I was like, then I seen a Honda Civic, and I think about me and you in it, and stuff like that. And now I added that to my live shows. So when you see it live, I'll ask the audience, what vehicle did your ex drive? And they'll be like, a Dodge Ram. And I'll be like, I'm going to write you a song real quick. And then I'll be like, 1, 2, 3. Then I see a gosh damn Dodge Ram. And I'm right back to when we weren't just friends. And stuff like that. It's really fun.
I love that.
I feel like that song took on so many lives. And people connected to it. And that's all you want as a songwriter, is just to connect. I wrote it for me because, again, big feelings, don't know how to talk about them. So I think that's what makes it the most special, is that song was so from the heart, and it's what connected the most with people. And I'm like, you know what? Hell yeah.
I love it.
Hell yeah.
Let's hear it.
Let's hear it?
Let's hear it.
Ooh. Oh my. I need my capo. Hold on. Pause the thing. Okay, so imagine little old Robyn in her bathroom writing this song.
Okay.
She was...
looking in the mirror.
How old was she? She wrote this in 2018, 2019. And I'm a 95er. Can't do that math that quick. But here it is. How do you want me to sit? This is good?
Yeah, this is great.
I can drive by your street, not feel a thing. Play all of those songs you used to play me. Get drunk with my friends, not think to call. Could thank you a little, but I don't thank you at all. I've been growing up, getting strong, moving on. Then I see an F-150, and all the memories of you just hit me. You're driving right through my mind every time I think I'm fine. I see the headlights of an F-150. Like that? Out of tune, out of sight, apparently. But yeah. I love that song so much. And something else that people really resonated with, actually, about that song was in the production. Right at the start of the song, I take a breath. I'm like... And then I start singing, and a lot of people are like, that breath is crazy. And I'm like, sorry, I breathe a lot. But yeah, it was just like that emotion where you're like, okay, I'm going to do this. And then you have at the song.
Yeah. Was there any thought process on like with the producers of like, because typically stuff like that would be edited out. Was it just like one of those things that?
It was very intentional. When I first did it, they went, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Because people really want pretty perfect tied in a bow. And at the time we really liked being a little more gritty and grungy and imperfect. I think that's something that I celebrate about myself is I'm like the least perfect person I know. So just to add that into the production and be like, no, I'm literally just an imperfect human that breathes and like has to take a sigh before doing something deep, was really intentional, and I'm stoked about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Such a great song. I want to talk about some of these highlights. You've got over 160 million global streams across 5 EPs and countless singles. You've got 3 top 40 hits on Canadian country charts, number 3 on Rolling Stone's all genre viral chart. You've been on stage with Shania Twain, Tim McGraw, Breland, Tyler Rich, so many more, festival appearance, like so much has happened. When was the pinch me moment for you?
Probably opening for Shania Twain on tour.
Yeah.
That was crazy. Those were like my first arena shows. And I had a stylist. I did it all. And we traveled around in an RV, brought my dog, obviously. And it was just like very pinch me. My parents came to the Montreal show, and they've been rooting for me since I was a kid. They know nothing about the music industry, but they're happy if I'm happy. So it was really exciting for them to, be out in the crowd. And the first show on the Shania tour was in Halifax, Nova Scotia, and all my high school friends flew out to Halifax to watch me. And I was so nervous. And I did that tour, no alcohol, which is crazy. I went alcohol-free the month before, and I was like, when I'm on that stage, I want to be dead sober and really feel it. So I did that, and I got on stage, and obviously I'm like, oh my gosh. And my 4 friends from high school stood up and all started screaming, and they got yelled at by the people behind them. But they were like, that's our best friend. We are not sitting down. We're so sorry, lady. They're the nicest girls. We are so sorry. That is our best friend. We are going to be standing. So the second I locked eyes with them, I was like, okay, we're locked in. Here we go. And it was really beautiful.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Just like having your friends that have like seen you through everything is really special.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see it in your eyes. Like,
oh, I love them.
Yeah.
My high school sweethearts.
This episode is brought to you by Brit Skin Beauty. Located in the beautiful Indulgence Medi Spa in Mount Juliet, Tennessee, Brittany is the go-to esthetician for facials, dermaplaning, microdermabrasion, waxing, lashes, and any skincare products and consultations. So many people in the music industry use her frequently, and her work speaks for itself. To schedule your next consultation or make an appointment, visit britskinbeauty.com or send an email to britskinbeauty@gmail.com.
And then you've got Singing About Cowboys, which is, I love that song. Was this just kind of an idea that you came up with? Or was it kind of like this internal message to country music?
I don't think it's, was an internal message to country music. I think it was like an internal message of just because everybody's doing this one thing, you can do something different. And I bet if I met a cowboy, I'd fall in love too. I get what you guys are talking about. I just haven't done it. And I wanted to put out something that's like, but I have dated all blue collar men.
Yeah.
My dad was blue collar. I didn't date my dad. Don't worry. That's crazy. But like, I definitely grew up in like a blue collar world, and everybody is singing about cowboys. I could probably name like 5 cowboy songs off the top of my head. And I was like, everybody's singing about cowboys, and I'm just singing about you. And that's okay. It's okay that I don't fit in the mold, but I still, I still have something to say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you write that one by yourself too?
No, I wrote that with my friends Lenny Pay and AJ Gadio.
Okay.
Yeah. And I came with the idea. I was like, everybody's singing about cowboys, but I'm just singing about you. And then we went for a rip. They're really easy to write with. It's all just an amazing flow. So yeah, I love that one.
Yeah. In a Small Town. Talk to me about that one.
Okay. In a Small Town. I wrote it back in 2020 during the pandemic. And I had lost my barista job. I was a barista and I was staying home. And I just put on Instagram, like, what should I write about today? I'd been writing every day. Might as well, you know? What other time in my life am I ever going to have this opportunity to do music full time? Joke's on me. Apparently it's my life now. And a lot of people from my hometown said, write about Uxbridge, write about the crosses at the red light, write about our high school, the bar that we go to. And I was like, oh, we got a lot of Uxbridge fans in the house. Obviously, that was my only followers. So I wrote In a Small Town, and I love lyrics. They're my favorite thing ever. So I was like, why have one chorus when I can have three? And it was just like the transition of going through a small town. I grew up on a dead-end road. My neighbors, I'm saying a lot. I'll work on that for you. There it is. So my neighbors were like my only friends, and we'd play manhunt all the time. We'd have bonfires. We'd run around through the woods, put on our rubber boots and go trekking through the creek. And we hung out all the time. And my world was 1 block wide. They were like my friends. They were all I saw. And until you go to school, of course. But driving to friends' houses was like 20 minutes away. So I was very close with my neighbors. So it's like, yeah, my whole world was 1 block wide. And then I did want to break out of my small town at one point. And I had moved to New Zealand when I was 19 to check out life over there. And I realized that your hometown friends are really good people, and I want to keep them around because when problems arise, nobody's got your back like the people that you grew up with. And then I just thought about like my parents, and they're probably like, wow, she's 18 and running away, and it breaks my heart, but she's going to find herself, and that's beautiful. And I think my parents secretly know one day I'll probably end right back up in Uxbridge because I love my hometown. So yeah,
that's really cool.
Yeah, so I just wrote about, you know, the life of someone from a small town.
Yeah. I love when you go into a room, like I love like everything that I'm hearing you say, like you have a lot of personal connection to your songs.
Yeah, I do. I find it easiest to write about my feelings. Obviously, the cliche saying, write what you know.
Yeah.
So I'll try to put myself in other shoes. And if there's another artist in the room and they're telling me their story, it's very easy for me to slip in to someone else's words and mind. But when I'm writing for me, it's definitely like a personal connection for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, might as well. I can't be lying all the time.
That's right,
That's exhausting. I'm too lazy.
Okay, I'm really excited to dive into Airplane Bottle.
Me too.
You've got that coming out May 30th. You've been teasing it a little bit on socials and all of that.
I've been teasing it a lot.
Yeah. Take me into the room. How did that song idea come about? And take me behind the scenes on that one.
Well, speaking of true stories,
there you go.
let me tell you what I went through. So I went on a first date with someone I met on a dating app in Germantown.
Okay.
Real close to us right now. And we showed up. We're going to meet up for margaritas. I love a skinny marg personally. So we had those. So we had 2 margaritas, and then he's like, do you want to do a shot? And I was like, oh, like, sure. I'm never going to say no to a shot. Let's be so for real. I am the problem too. So we took a shot, and then we went to play cornhole because they have a lot of games at this bar. And he whips out an airplane bottle from his pocket, and he goes, do you care if and then just starts pouring it in his drink. And I was like, you know what, in this economy, I guess it kind of makes sense. But apparently that's a red flag. They shouldn't bring their own alcohol on a first date in their pocket. That's what my friends told me. So I was like, this guy's smart with his money. So we went through the date. And then all of a sudden, we end up on Broadway. If you end up on Broadway on a first date, another red flag. And so out of nowhere, he's just like, I'm going to go meet up with my friends. And I was like, oh, like, where are they? And he's like, in the Gulch. I was like, am I going with you? And he's like, no. And he just leaves me on the side of the road on Broadway at like 11 p.m. at night. And so I get in an Uber and I call my friends. I'm like, I don't know what happened, but he just left me out of the blue. No signs or anything. So I go home and he messages me and he goes, the next day, and he goes, it doesn't sit right with me that you probably think can I swear on here?
If you want to, yeah.
Oh, that you probably think I'm an asshole. And I was like, okay, here's the apology, here's the explanation. And then he was just like, when we were in this bar, you looked at the DJ, and I don't know, it was giving fake and inauthentic. So I left, and it was a major turnoff. And I was like, it was a karaoke bar. I'm looking at the DJ because I want him to play my song so I can go rap Eminem on stage, okay? This is not about you, sir. So then I replied, if I didn't think you were an asshole before, I sure do now. Good luck out there, buddy. And then he unmatched me, which is cool with me. Move on to the next. But then he had left his sunglasses in my purse because he didn't want to lose them on Broadway, so he put them in my purse. So he found me on Instagram and commented on my top post and said, hey, I really need my sunglasses back, and then commented his number. And I DM'd him, and I was like, I'm not going to give the guy my number. It's going to end up on a bathroom stall somewhere, okay? It's too much admin for me. So I just DM'd him, and I said, I'm going to be at this writing house. Come pick them up at 2 p.m. from the security desk. So while he was picking up his sunglasses at the security desk, like a day later, I was writing Airplane Bottle about the whole date. And just like venting to Lenny and AJ and Tiffany about this date and how I didn't really see the red flags until like it was too late. And then he brought an airplane bottle of vodka in his pocket, poured it in his drink, said, don't judge me for it. So yeah, that's where that came from. True story. Everything in the song is like verbatim for what happened. It's crazy.
And it's coming out very soon.
Yeah, I got off the dating apps. I gave up that life.
Yeah.
But I got a great song.
Let's hear it.
Let's hear it. Let's give it a go.
Everybody listening, you're getting a sneak peek to the song that is coming out May 30th. Here we go.
Yeah, it's a warning to all. I guess you could still be naive at 28 and think you could fall in love at the first sight on the first date. And I was always told if you want to kiss him, make him wait. But you kind of made me laugh and your lips tasted great. I love listening to you talk about your mom, your biggest fears. How you think staying in one place is kind of weird. I guess the red flags were there, but I didn't see them until you left me on the side of the road at 11 p.m. You brought an airplane bottle of vodka in your pocket, poured it in your drink, said don't judge me for it, saying money's tight and honey I bought it, but I was nervous that the bartender saw it. Sipping that watermelon had me buzzing, thinking whatever it was what I wanted now. Every time I fly, I'm reminded of it, that airplane bottle of vodka in your pocket. Hey. The airplane bottle of vodka. It was watermelon, Smirnoff, vodka. Tasted great.
Yeah.
I don't blame the guy, but yeah, it was silly. It was a funny thing that happened, and I'm just so grateful that when I was trying to process everything that happened, I was like, am I crazy? What's happening? And then we were actually trying to write a different song that day. And I was just so in my head, and I was like, this guy's coming to pick up his glasses. I don't want to see him. Blah, 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 blah. And we were trying to write something else. And then Lenny just looked at me and said, all right, sing to me about Airplane Bottle Man, and just started playing those chords. And I was like, you brought an airplane. And I just started venting. And that song came out. So I'm really grateful for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love the style that you have too. It's like, I haven't heard that. In a female, you've got this almost like Sam Hunt vibe.
Yeah.
In a female version of it, which is super cool.
Yeah. Has no female done it before?
I don't think so. Like, and
I love Sam Hunt. So I'm definitely super inspired by him. And I love the thought of like talking and singing, especially in a song like this, where it's like, no, I was actually venting. And I was actually like, I guess you can still be naive at 28.
Yeah.
And thinking about your first date. So I think it's just like for the song itself, the talking and like the just trying to wrap your head around it really works well together.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was something else I wanted to say about that song, and it's escaping me. But whatever the case, people seem to like it. And yes, I get Sam Hunt from it a lot. A lot of comments being like, "You're the female Sam Hunt."
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's the biggest compliment ever. Thank you so much.
It's super cool. Like this gritty vibe that you've got. And I told you earlier, like I love your voice. It's just something unique and special. So
thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Like I said before, I grew it myself.
Yeah.
But just so the people at home know, I'm grown.
What is next for you?
What is next for me?
What is next for you, Robyn?
What a great question. What is next for me? Airplane Bottle's coming out. And then I got a few festivals up in Canada, and we're working on some more shows, maybe some headlining shows that I'm so excited for. But we're going to be releasing a new song every 6 to 8 weeks for the whole year. So what's next is tons of songs, tons of content, and really just like last year I didn't put out almost no music except for an EP at the start of the year. So this year I was like, I just want to put out so much music and connect and have a bippity-boppity good time, while doing it. And maybe acting. I want to dabble in acting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it would be fun.
Is there an anticipated album
the story I wanted to tell you.
Okay, tell me the story.
I mean, I've never done a debut album. So I really, really want to work towards that. And right now, I think the first step forward is putting out a bunch of music, seeing what works, and then going from there. And I want the album to be just like super unique in me. So I'm very excited. But the story I was going to tell you is I just flew to LA. And I was telling the flight attendant man about the song, and he brought me like a tray of airplane bottles.
No, he didn't.
And a bag. He gave me like 20 airplane bottles. He's like, make your TikToks, girl. I want you to be a star. And it was the best flight of my life. And then he let me sit in the cockpit when we landed, and I got a little picture in the airplane. And I was like, this just all feels so serendipitous. So that was the little story I wanted to tell you.
That's very
cool. Flight attendants are really fun.
Yeah.
I love them.
You got to sit in the cockpit. That's pretty incredible.
Yeah. I was like, can I film the TikTok in here? They're like, no. And I was like, no, for sure. I'll just get a picture. Thank you so much. But it was really cool. Nobody wants me flying a plane, but I have that thought in my head that like, if a plane's going down, I could land it for sure.
All right.
I am so delusional.
I'm a pilot.
Are you?
Yeah, I am.
Do you think I could do it?
I don't know.
Just from talking to me for 30 minutes, what are your thoughts?
I think it depends on how many of those airplane bottles you might have, but yeah.
I think if I've had like 3, the nerves would be gone and like the delusion would be there, but I'd probably have to do it sober. But it's an emergency. You don't know. Maybe I've had 1 or 2 and then it's an emergency.
Yeah, you figure it out.
Sometimes the hero's got to be a hero.
That's
They
right.
don't get to choose when.
That's right.
You're a pilot. Oh my God.
Yeah,
You're
I love
probably like,
flight.
this girl is so stupid.
No, I'm not. I'm just, I want to sit in the cockpit of a 747 or something like that. I mean, I have.
There's so many buttons.
Yeah.
Didn't touch one.
There is a lot. Yeah.
No buttons were, they took the keys. Is there even a key? Couldn't tell you, but they took it.
Oh my gosh, I love it. Well, we will be highly anticipating this new album, and I can't wait to see the music coming out. Especially coming from another country. There's a lot of people that listen to this. I always love to get the insight of like advice that you would tell other people. There's a lot of songwriters, a lot of aspiring artists that listen to this show. So what would you tell them?
I mean, always be yourself. You're going to find your crew that way. The fastest way is to just yip, yip, yap. And if they yip, yip, yap back in the right way, it's perfect. But also, I recently read a book from one of my favorite podcasts, and it's called How to Giggle. And it's about being delusional. And if you have a dream, you really got to be so delusional that you think you can get it and be like, you know what, I'm going to win that one day. And then you deconstruct it to more small attainable goals that you can step all your way. But yeah, be so delusional that you think you can do it. Because no one's going to tell you can. So you just have to have in your mindset, like, of course I'm going to win a Grammy one day. Duh. I hope I do. That would be fun. Yeah. So yeah, I think be delusional, guys.
I love it.
Be so crazy.
That is some great advice. Be delusional.
Be literally delusional. In a good way. Like, don't hurt anybody. But yeah, if you want to do something,
I mean, it's a tough business.
it's all about the mindset. It's a tough business. So giggle your way through it. Have the best time ever. The podcast is called Giggly Squad too. I want to give credit where credit's due. But be so delusional.
I love it. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, it's the morning. I'm a little squirrely in the morning.
Well, you got up and you came here, and you don't drink coffee, which is crazy to me.
You got up and you came here too, and you're chill.
But I'm drinking coffee.
Are you?
And I also have kids, so I've been up for like 4 hours. But yeah.
My dog sleeps until I sleep.
See, that's so
I have to
amazing.
wake her up.
Yeah, it's...
She's like, why are we getting out of bed? It's 10 a.m.
I get slapped in the face at 5 o'clock in the morning by my kid. Hey, Daddy, it's time to wake up. Yeah, I mean, it's just...
Oh, my gosh.
Fun stuff.
You're a trooper, man.
Yeah.
Congratulations, though.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. It's one way to live life.
Yeah, it is. It is one way to live life. That is.
I'm not living life like that
true.
right now, but that's one way to live life for sure.
Oh, man. So I always end on the same question. If you were to go back to 8-year-old you, what kind of advice would you give yourself today?
Try a little bit harder on the piano, girl. Okay, you gave that up way too quick. It would have been really useful right now. But also, I would say 8-year-old me, I'm trying to picture her. I wonder if I had a short haircut then. So many questions. I don't know if I would tell her to do anything different. Because whatever happened, whatever she was doing worked. Keep singing Hannah Montana. Keep dancing around in your bathroom and pretending you're a star on stage. Maybe drink less pop and eat more than popcorn sometimes. But yeah, no, I'm proud of 8-year-old me. She did great.
I love it.
Yeah, she's
I think
dope.
I would have been upset if you had different advice. Because like,
really?
Because everything I've heard from you is like, you're just like matter of fact. Like this is who I am. This is like, so if you would have been like, oh, I think I would have changed this and this, I would have been like, no, dude, you're wrong.
I would have been dead. I would have been lying right to your face.
Yes. And we've already talked about like
we
how
can't lie. We're too
difficult
lazy.
lying is. So
it's too much admin.
Yeah, it's
never come across my desk.
That's right.
But yeah, I definitely, don't change anything. Play soccer, fall out of a tree. Just, she never broke anything, so she's killing it in that department. Eat as much sugar as you want now. Have a blast, kid. You're doing great.
I love it.
Yeah.
I said I always end on that question, and now I'm the liar because I'm not. I have another question.
Oh, this is so fun. Okay.
You have a tattoo.
Yeah, I have a few.
That the one that I kept looking at is "Be the Lioness." What does that mean to you?
Be the Lioness. I'm a Leo. My astrology sign. Big words are hard in the morning. And I always that the animal for a Leo is a lion, the king or queen of the jungle, and I've always just related to that sign, obviously, because I was born in that sign's time. But lioness are very prideful, loyal, and hardworking, and they keep their pride rolling. When I say pride, lions run in prides. So they're just very loyal, regal predators, and I always say be the lion, or be the lioness, and then I also have a shark because I love sharks too. I guess I'm just a predator kind of girl. But sharks are also like, if they don't keep swimming or moving forward, they'll die because they need the water to go across their gills. So I love that quote too. I have to keep going forward or I'll die.
I love that.
Keep going.
Is there a song about that yet?
Keep going forward or you die?
Or the Be the Lioness?
Not Be the Lioness. Don't have that one yet. There's Roar by Katy Perry. Check it out. It's a hit. But I did write a song with Lenny and AJ called Just Keep Swimming. And it's like, just keep swimming. I know the water feels deep, but you're in it. Keep kicking them feet. I wish I could remember the rest of the things. But yeah, we wrote a song called Just Keep Swimming.
I love it.
Yeah.
This has been so fun.
I've had a blast.
Thank you for sharing some of your story, and can't wait to just keep watching your music. We'll put liner notes in this episode, so everybody out there listening can go find Robyn online. And
I'm a lot more calm online because I take a few videos before I before I post them.
You didn't slam a Diet Coke right before.
I didn't slam a DC.
Yeah. Well, thank you, everybody out there. You've been listening to Robyn Ottolini. My name is Chris Blair. This has been another episode of Stories Beyond the Songs, and we will see you next time.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to another episode of Stories Behind the Songs with Chris Blair. Make sure to give us a follow on Spotify if you enjoyed this episode, and make sure you click that notification button so you can keep notified when new episodes come out. We release brand new episodes every Tuesday, and you can find us on YouTube at Stories Behind the Songs with Chris Blair or anywhere you listen to podcasts. Don't forget to send us a comment letting us know what you thought of the episodes. We love getting your feedback, and share this with your friends. The more we grow, the more that we can keep doing this. It's our mission to bring you all of these great stories behind the songs from some of Nashville's most iconic artists and songwriters, publishers, producers, everyone in between, and a lot of my great friends. We love what we do, and we love sharing their stories with you. We appreciate all of the continued support. Thanks also to all of our sponsors, and we will see you all next week.